I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we embark on an epic intergalactic quest with Vamsi Atluri, author of the Crytivat, The Search for the Lost Keys. This thrilling sci-fi adventure follows Scott, a young boy who stumbles upon a mysterious device that transports him across planets, transforming him into different alien species along the way. Together with new extraterrestrial allies, Scott must unlock the secrets of the Crytivat to stop a group of malicious aliens from destroying the universe. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put him in the spotlight today, and we ask viewers like you to support authors like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his amazing book. The links are below this interview. V, great to see you here today on Spotlight.
Thank you, Mr. Crawford. Pleasure to meet you.
Call me Logan.
All
Wonderful
right.
to have you on the show. The Crytivat is such an original story. How did you come up with the idea for it?
I've always kind of had these storytelling ideas in my head growing up. But life just kind of takes you in a different direction and you don't get to focus on it much. As I got older, I had a child, watching him grow up, seeing him come to life, right? Experiencing life and hearing his stories just kind of reignited that storytelling part of me. And just one fine day, an idea popped in my head. And I took my phone out, took my stylus pen, just started taking notes. And I was like, a few weeks later, I was like, the story kind of marinated in my mind and just kind of evolved pen to paper, and it just took off. And the bits and pieces just started falling together of my character, the supplemental characters, the relationships. And it just evolved. And I was like, oh wow. I was like, I may actually be able to tell a story here. But yeah, ultimately, watching the kid grow up, seeing that imagination come to life kind of reignited my spark.
Exactly. We got to learn to be a child again in order to have that same imagination that children do. And you've successfully done it with this book. Who is your target audience for this book?
Honestly, it would be young adults. And honestly, I think the story can reach to adults as well.
Mhm.
I think we can go from children to adults. It's a fun book. It's open. It's an open world story. And it's just these constant experiences, right? The way I write the book is I am Scott Trellers, right?
Right.
I write it as if I'm experiencing everything firsthand, so my mind is working in that way. Like, what would happen? What would this do? What would that do?
Right.
Or, if I make this turn on this road, where am I going to end up?
Exactly. It's almost like method acting, which of course begs the question, have you thought of this as a TV series or a film or something like that?
Honestly, I would love to see my writing evolve into something like that. That'd be a dream come true. My passion is writing. My dream is to use this writing to do more um, for society, right?
Mhm.
At some point in my writing career, I would like all of everything I make from my sales to go purely to donations, right?
That'd be
That's
wonderful.
right. I've
Yeah.
spent first 25 of my years working in IT,
Mhm.
kind of just surviving, taking care of life, taking care of business. And now, as I'm reaching my mid 40s, I'm like, all right, what do I want to do? What else can I make out there? What do I want for the rest of my life? And philanthropy is a big part of it. And I want to use books to achieve that goal because, the 9 to 5 just won't do it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, it's a terrific story. It's very original. I think it would translate to film, whether on the big screen or the little screen, very, very easily. So, Hollywood, if you're listening, we
Yep.
have an author who doesn't live all that far from you who'd be interested in turning this into a screenplay and then, of course, a project. Tell us what the Crytivat device is and how it plays a central role in the story.
So the device itself was created. So there's two races, right? The Agatovians and the Zarkovians are the two alien races. Zarkovians are bad, the Agatovians are good. And at one point, the Agatovians were trying to stop the bad race, and they developed this device which got destroyed and scattered across the universe.
Mhm.
And so that's when Scott Treller stumbles across it, and then he meets his friends. And the idea is to get all the pieces of the Crytivat so they can destroy the bad alien race. It's a device that'll tie to their like DNA. Um, And in the following books, at the end of the first book, we end at Skyless Planet, but in the next two books that I'm planning, um, the second book is to get the DNA of the bad alien race because Scott gets into his conflict. He's like, I have this other Zarkovian that's not bad. How can we just label the entire race bad? There's good people, there's people that are enslaved. This isn't the way. And so part of the journey becomes no longer to just get the pieces of the Crytivat, but to modify it, right? Because Scott's a very intelligent, he's an engineer, he's a tinkerer. So his goal is to find the rest of the pieces, get the blood of the Crytivat, of the bad alien races, and modify the Crytivat so it only attacks the ones that are, trying to destroy the universe, right?
Yep.
So that's kind of where, and it's fun because the storyline with the modifying of Scott into different alien races. Give you a little tidbit of where I'm going with the third book is eventually I want to bring them back to America, to Earth, and be like, Albert Einstein, Newton, Socrates. These are all those alien races that were
Mm,
disguised our human form and helping us evolve, Earth to where it is today, right?
yeah.
So that's the final end goal of the book as we journey through finding the other characters that manage the keys, the battles, the fights, the journey.
That
So
sounds great. One of the most intriguing aspects of this book, of course, is Scott morphing into the different alien species. And it's cool to hear that you have an end game for that. And it'll bring us back to the United States and the historical characters as well. How many books are you envisioning? Tell us a little bit about your idea for the series.
the series will be three books. I think the story ends once they come home, and then hey, you never know if we get that movie deal or something. Maybe there'll be another
Exactly.
four.
Then we can do prequels and all of that other break
Yeah,
off sidebar characters and all of that stuff.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
If it becomes like the Star Wars franchise, that'd be
Yeah.
amazing. For
Hollywood 2.0 is coming to Vegas, right? So,
Yep, exactly. Exactly. Share with us a little bit about the villains in the story and their motivations for destroying the universe.
well, they're selfish, right? They come in, a lot of the storytelling, the characters, ties back to life, right? Different types of people that we encounter in our lives that Scott encounters, right? And that he has to deal with. Scott's, right? It's all personalities and evolving, right? So their main purpose is just it's take, right? And you see this in life, and you see these people with vast amounts of resources just continuously taking. So my storyline kind of ties my bad guys to that. And then the Agatovians are the flip side of that, right? They give, right? And it ties back to my personal goals in life, right? Is to no longer take, but to give back, right? So it's all interconnected, right? But to summarize, right, the alien race, they want to just take. They come in, they destroy, and then they leave,
Yeah.
right? With no concern for what's left behind,
Yeah. And we see that on this planet right now, happening, unfolding as we speak. Unfortunately, there are evil people out there, evil empires, if you will,
Yeah,
that seek to take and leave a path of destruction in their wake.
yeah.
Tell us how your background in technology influenced the tech aspects of this book and the Crytivat.
Um, I don't know. That's you know, the idea of bringing tech even into this, right? Obviously, it's a device, right? But making Scott the person that he is, being the tinkerer, being the engineer, being the guy who likes to fiddle around, is really to create the character of Scott, right? He's highly intelligent. He doesn't quite fit in, right? So he's a bit of an introvert because he doesn't know how to socialize, and people don't really generally come towards him. So in his very nature, he's kind of introverted and spends that time by himself and wants to kind of mess around with things, right? That's his thing.
Hmm.
So from my point of view, creating that character, he's also like me, right? I kind of fell into technology and it was something that I kind of learned and picked up in my career, kind of took off from there. So I think there's a bit of a link there. And it's a critical part to his character because he needs to, modify this device in the future, right? So he needs to use that technology that he has inside of him to, you know, develop
Absolutely.
the final device.
Yep. Now, you mentioned your son is 3.
Oh, no, he's 10 now.
He's 10 now. Okay, which
Yeah.
was bringing me to my next question. Have you read the story with him? And has he read the story? Tell us a little bit about his reaction to Dad's book.
Oh yeah, he loves it. He is involved in the book creating process. He's on my payroll. I involve him with character design, character who we're introducing, their details, what they look like. I engage with him on my planet creations. I try to make him a part of this experience, right? Trying to let him know that there's not just one path in life. You could be a doctor, you could be an engineer, you could be a writer. You pick, right? It's your choice.
Exactly.
World is your oyster.
Awesome. Well, great life lessons for him by helping you with this book. And for the readers of this book, there's lots of great life lessons within the pages as well. The name of the book is Crytivat, The Search for the Lost Keys. It is a thrilling sci-fi adventures that follows a young boy by the name of Scott who stumbles upon a mysterious device that transports him across the planet, transforming him into different alien species along the way. It's a thrilling book. Young people will like it. I think adults will love it too. And like I said, this would be perfect for a film or a TV series. V, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you so much, Logan. Really appreciate your time.
I appreciate your time as well. And to the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time until next time on Spotlight.